guest today. We've set up a chair for Mr. Kerouac himself. You can see his shirt. And I've got the old Kerouac plaid shirt as well. You never know. Last time I did this 10 years ago, he made his presence known. So his ghost might sweep through here. Who knows? You never know. So I'm going to be reading Selected Things with Mr. John Acer here on guitar.
Yay!
And it's a bit of a travelogue through the Kerouac works. And I'll just preface this also. Welcome to BBAM Gallery, for those of you who have never been here before. This is an art gallery, cafe, performance space, everything. It's just like your house. So if you use the bathroom, you might have to jiggle it on the way out because it just keeps running. And make sure you turn off the light because it sets the air vent going, and then that's not good either. And we're going to have a little short intermission because just me reading for too long is probably boring. It's never boring with Kerouac. So I'm not going to read a lot of the obvious things, and we're going to kind of go more for the spiritual side and stuff that you might not be aware that he wrote. Actually, you see this book? Everybody's probably familiar with this paperback version of On the Road. It's the most famous one. I bought this for $1 in the 60s at NDG Paperback on Sherbrooke Street, which no longer exists. But there is another used bookstore sort of around where NDG Paperback used to be. And $1 was very expensive then. I'm kind of shocked. So this, even NDG Paperback considered this an important paperback. Jack Kerouac was born Jean-Louis Lebris de Kerouac, March 12, 1922, in Lowell, Massachusetts, and he was the son of French-Canadian immigrants. And it was a connection to Quebec that he kept for quite a while. And there's actually, if you go on YouTube, there's an interview he did with Radio-Canada where he speaks actually quite beautiful French. It's very old-fashioned French, apparently, but it's worth watching. He was a shy guy who became a whole extroverted guy once he started drinking. And the success of On the Road, he overnight went from this penniless writer-poet to all of a sudden icon, thanks to a New York Times review. Caught him by surprise, and this is something he wrote in Playboy magazine in 1959. He said, "I wrote On the Road in 3 weeks in the beautiful month of May 1941 while living in the Chelsea district of Lower West Side Manhattan on a 100-foot roll, and put the Beat Generation words in there, saying at the point where I am taking part in a wild kind of collegiate party with a bunch of kids in an abandoned miner shack. The manuscript of On the Road was turned down on the grounds that it would displease the sales manager of my publisher at that time, though the editor, a very intelligent man, said, 'Jack, this is just like Dostoevsky, but what can I do at this time? It was too early.'"
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, right. Just like
Yeah. So for the next 6 years, I was a bum, a brakeman, a seaman, a panhandler, a pseudo-Indian in Mexico, anything and everything, and went on writing because my hero was Goethe, and I believed in art, and hoped someday to write the third part of Faust. Yet it was as a Catholic. It was not at the insistence of any of these nicks, and certainly not with their approval either, that I went one afternoon to the church of my childhood, one of them, St. Jean d'Arc in Lowell, Mass., and suddenly, with tears in my eyes, had a vision of what I must have really meant with beat. Anyhow, when I heard the holy silence in the church, I was the only one in there. It was 5 p.m., dogs were barking outside, children yelling. The fall leaves, candles were flickering, alone just for me. The vision of the word beat as being to mean beatific. There's the priest preaching on Sunday morning. All of a sudden, through a side door of the church, comes a group of Beat Generation characters in strap raincoats like the IRA coming in silently to dig the religion. I knew it then. But this was 1954, so then what horror I felt in 1957 and later 1958, naturally, to suddenly see Beat being taken up by everybody, press and TV and Hollywood boorish circuit, to include the juvenile delinquency shot and the horrors of a mad, teeming billy club, New York and LA. And they began to call that Beat. But yet, woe unto those who think that the Beat Generation means crime, delinquency, immorality, amorality. Woe unto those who attack it on the grounds that they simply don't understand history and the yearnings of human souls. Woe unto those who don't realize that America must, will, is changing now for the better, I say. Woe unto those who believe in the atom bomb, who believe in hating mothers and fathers who deny the most important of the 10 Commandments. Woe unto those, though, who don't believe in the unbelievable sweetness of sex love. Woe unto those who are the standard bearers of death. Woe unto those who believe in conflict and horror and violence and fill our books and screens and living rooms with that crap. Woe, in fact, unto those who make evil movies about the Beat Generation, where innocent housewives are raped by beatniks. Woe unto those who are the real dreary sinners that even God finds room to forgive. Woe unto those who spit on the Beat Generation. The wind will blow it back.